right, Thursday, BYU making it official. Ty Detmer, the former Heisman Trophy winner and BYU quarterback, now the new offensive coordinator for Kalani Sitake staff at BYU. A couple of his teammates who caught a bunch of Ty's passes are here. Andy Boyce and Eric Drage. First of all, guys, thanks for coming in. And when you first heard that it was official, that Ty's coming back as the offensive coordinator, your thoughts?
I was ecstatic. I think Ty, the reason I really like Ty coming back is he's such a BYU guy. I know people have said he's a BYU guy, but he's not just an LDS guy coming to coach BYU. He knows the system. He knows what he wants to do, and he knows what he has to do at BYU. So I was really, really pleased.
Eric, your first thoughts?
First thought, hot diggity, right? I was excited. I can't wait for it to get started next year. You know, having him coaching Tanner, of course, is going to be huge. So, yeah, I was totally excited.
Let's go back to your playing days. Before that even, when Jim McMahon arrived at BYU, everybody was in awe because they said, man, this guy can read defenses like nobody else. Well, about 10 or 11 years later, here comes Ty Detmer and said, okay, this guy is like him. He's special. So when you were playing with him, Eric, what did you notice about just his uncanny sense to read defenses on the fly?
Oh, yeah, it was phenomenal. So, we would watch film, and the first time we would watch the film, Ty's up there, all right, this linebacker's going to drop here, this safety's moving over here, and Chow runs the film.
Before even watching it?
Before ever watching it. And Chow runs the film, and the linebacker dropped there, and the safety moved here. And, I mean, he was phenomenal with that. And many times, you know, we're in the middle of games, and he's telling Chow, hey, we need to make these adjustments because this is what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Well, you heard the story about him telling, you know, Brett Favre in a team meeting, said, what's a nickel defense? And he had to explain it to him. So your thoughts when you were playing with Ty about how much easier did it make it for the rest of the team, including yourself as the receivers, that he could do that kind of stuff?
Well, you just knew that if you were the first guy, if you were the #1 receiver, you were going to pretty much get the ball. And if you were designated to take out the free safety, the other guy was going to get the ball. He threw it to the right guys.
Mm-hmm. How do you think that will translate into his play calling and the way he's going to coach a guy like Tanner Mangum?
As far as I'm concerned, I think he'll do really well because he'll teach Tanner Mangum how to read the defenses, but he'll also keep it within the BYU system. I've always thought that BYU should have a little bit more throwing ability to the tight ends as of late, and they just haven't. And so I think Ty will say, look at that tight end first. If the linebacker releases, you got the tight end. If the linebacker's there, come to the Z receiver.
And can he put it into terms that can translate into a coach and teaching a guy like Tanner, Eric?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Ty, I mean, he has a great ability of just getting across what he wants done. Quick story, so we're playing UCLA, and it's 4th down, and Byron Rex is at tight end, and Ty audibles. And I'm supposed to run the hitch, and you know, Byron runs an arrow, and he got the audible wrong, right? So Byron does. So Ty throws it, and I think he's going to catch it. He thinks I'm going to catch it, so he pulls his hand back. He hits me in the knees and incomplete, right? So Ty comes running over, and he grabs Byron, and he's shaking him. He's like, hey, man, when I audible, and he put it in a way that Byron understood what he should have been doing, right?
Gotcha.
But a little bit fiery. And then I thought I slink off the field thinking I'm off the hook, and he comes running over. I don't care if he runs the wrong route. You catch the ball. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. But it was like, yes, sir, right? I mean, he just demands respect from everybody around him.
You mentioned that he would go to Norm Chow and say, hey, we're going to do it this way. So did he call his own plays? Did he change the play a lot?
He didn't change the play a lot, but he changed it enough. So when a play would come in, he would say, we're not running that play, we're going to run this play. He had the confidence to say, another story from my angle, there was a blitz pickup, he would audible to a blitz. The cornerback stood right on 10 yards. We just did a little comeback, and I came back and said, hey, we got to change that. And he goes, well, next time let's run a corner if I hit my helmet. And so he comes out, and he checks the blitz pickup, and he comes out, and I can still remember him just smiling. And he smiled, looked over at me, and he hit that like that. And I ran a corner and scored a touchdown on it. And Chow came in the locker room, and he said, hey, I don't care what you guys do as long as it works. And so Ty had the confidence to change it when it needed to be changed.
A lot of people are concerned, well, some people are concerned that he hasn't had any D1 college experience, coaching quarterbacks or calling plays. Are you concerned?
I'm not concerned at all. I mean, he had, what, 14 years of NFL experience, you know, as being an assistant coach in the NFL, as far as I'm concerned, right? A backup quarterback, that's kind of what he was and why he was kept around so long in the NFL. So I don't have any qualms with his lack of Division I experience.
And I'm sure he'll adjust as well. And even if he isn't, if a little rusty the first little bit, he'll adjust and he'll be real good.
Now, Ty everybody loves Ty, the way he played at BYU. If that doesn't translate, people can turn quickly, even on a hero like Ty. How is he, do you think he's able to withstand that kind of pressure as the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, so I think he will for sure. I mean, he got his share of criticism, you know, when he was playing, because he did throw a lot of interceptions, right? But he was able to bounce back almost every time. So I don't think, you know, he'll get some criticism, but he's still Ty Detmer. He still won the Heisman. He's still the golden child of Provo. I mean, I think he'll be just fine, but I think there will, you know, he'll have to thicken up the skin a little bit for sure.
Yeah, I mean, as a quarterback, I think the quarterback's either the hero or the GOAT, and he's lived with that quarterback, you know, stigma on his sleeve for a long time. So he is gonna have to thicken it up, and fans in Provo are tough. I mean, if it's not going exactly how they think it to go, they're gonna get after him.
Now, Eric, having played with this guy, and now he's the coach and running this BYU offense, give us one idea of the best thing that he can do for BYU that you think that, okay, this guy is going to make this happen?
Boy, so I think what he's going to bring is the leadership that he had as a player that's going to translate to his coaching style. I really do, because you know, we believe. I mean, you know, a good example is the San Diego State game, right? The 52-52 game everybody remembers. And at halftime, I think it was 45-17, maybe something like that. We're all hanging our heads. We're done. And he's like, hey, we're going to win this game. And it wasn't just, you know, just saying that. He believed that. Yeah. We all believed it. It turned into, you know, we had a chance to win that game, and if, you know, Lavelle would have had some more, you know, I won't say balls, but a ball, you know, he would have kicked that, and we would have, you know, we could have won that game, but it gone for 2. Sorry, Rod. But that leadership that he brought, I think he's going to translate perfect.
You're one thing that said, okay, Ty's going to do this, and it's going to be great.
You know, to Derek's point, I think he has that leadership and confidence, but I think the biggest thing is he'll recruit guys, and hopefully he brings back our type of offense where it was more of a vertical as opposed to horizontal. Everybody wants to get out in space and then make people miss. BYU doesn't have that kind of athletes. BYU has athletes that'll go down the field, turn around, catch it. Now it's 2nd and 4, or you know, 3rd and 1. So I think he's going to bring the tight end back as well as kind of the vertical.
That's what is the big thing, to bring the tight end back. All right, guys, I can tell you guys are just pumped about this.
We can tell you all kinds of stories.
This is awesome that you guys would come in and talk about this. I mean, to reminisce about the glory days, y'all like to do that. So,
sure.
All right, we'll see how it works out.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Rod. You know, spring ball only a couple months away.
That's right.